So I received a legal opinion last night from the Attorney General's office and from my general counsel that I do not have the authority to implement a statewide ban. I do think it's a good idea. I believe, look, you know, for me, fireworks are awesome. We love fireworks. We do fireworks every year with my kids and with my family. But there are rare circumstances when things are so dire. If it were up to me, a really easy fix would just say that any areas that are in exceptional drought shouldn't have fireworks. That's just a really easy fix. The statute is pretty messy. It's tough for communities. We're trying to get a legal opinion out to local communities so they can understand exactly what they can do under the law. And I'm encouraging local communities to put those restrictions in place. They do have the authority to do that to some extent. And that depends on how close they are to wildland-urban interfaces. Again, the statute is fairly complex. We want to get them good legal analysis on what they can do. I've told the legislature I think it's a terrible idea not to have additional restrictions this year. They haven't shown any interest in doing anything more around that. So we are relying on local governments to put those restrictions in place. I would also say, look, people, just please, this is not the year. Even if you think you're being extremely safe, it's so easy. One spark, everything is so dry. It's drier than you think. We saw this in 2012 when I was talking to biologists when they saw sagebrush, which is the most resilient plant we have in the state, that the sagebrush was actually dying because it was so dry. And when the plants and soils have that little moisture in them, they basically act like toilet paper. One spark and it just runs. And so you also need to know that just because you can do fireworks, if you start a fire, you will be held liable for that fire. You will be responsible for paying to have that fire put out and any damages that occur. So again, just be extremely careful.
So to be clear, under your emergency powers that you enacted for a pandemic, for droughts, for floods, for fires, you cannot do it for fireworks?
That's what I was told last night. Yeah, that's what I was told last night.
Did you request that opinion?
I did.
And had
Yes.
the Attorney General said that you could impose a fireworks ban, would you?
Yes.
No question.
I would have imposed a fireworks ban. What I think should happen is that I think we should impose a ban statewide and then allow communities to designate safe zones where they want to have fireworks allowed. Now, communities can do a version of that, but in the reverse. In this case, fireworks are allowed unless and until the city says otherwise. And again, there are some restrictions on the city's ability to do that under the statute. Now, I would also encourage, as cities are looking at this, again, their attorneys are going to have to look through this, make sure that they do it the right way. We have cities that have placed those restrictions already, and so I'm encouraging citizens to look very closely at what they have. I just can't emphasize this enough, guys. It's worse than you think it is out there right now. And maybe we'll get some storms. I'm praying, I'm hoping that we'll get some storms between now and July 4th. But my understanding is last year we had over 60 fires in the state that were caused by fireworks. Over 60 human-caused fires that didn't need to happen, and one of those can turn into $1 million a day fire. That's how damaging these things can be. So, just a reminder: fireworks are illegal right now. They're illegal until 2 days before the 4th of July. They are illegal. We already have, where I do have authority, where the state fire marshal has authority, is outside of incorporated areas, and we have put that into place, that restriction on fireworks outside of incorporated cities.
So at this point, do you go back to the legislature and say, well, I don't have the power now, but I want the power next year?
Well, they have the power now. I doubt they're going to give me that power if they're not interested in doing it themselves.
But are you seeking fireworks restrictions next year then? We only allow a couple days before, a couple days after. We have certain hourly restrictions. Are you going to ask the legislature to maybe consider an all-out ban?
What I would like, no, I would not ask the legislature for an all-out ban. What I would like to see happen is in areas of exceptional drought that there's just an automatic ban. Whenever we're in a condition of exceptional drought in that area, and again, not all of the state's in exceptional drought, but most of the state is, that if you're a community that's in exceptional drought, that to me is a very easy categorization. It's just common sense, and that's the type of thing I would like to see the legislature put in place. So we don't have to do this every year. The legislature, every year the legislature messes with the fireworks code. Every year there's some restrictions here and less restrictions here. We fight about it every year, and to me the easiest way to do is just say, hey, let's just look at the conditions. Let's let the weather decide whether or not we have fireworks. That just seems like common sense, but I don't know.
What's the legal explanation on why you can't enact the statewide?
So I don't have the legal explanation in front of me right now. We got the opinion last night. I had a quick conversation with my general counsel this morning. But what I was told is that, well, we can suspend statutes in a case of emergency. We can't alter the statute, and that doesn't allow me the authority to ban fireworks.